Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. Stay here in this lovely nostalgic room that we have at the office. And that was a bit of a nostalgic game, wasn't it? A bit of a throwback to mad Liverpool games of the past. Because Liverpool won, which is brilliant. There were sending offs, there were injuries, there was an absolute masterclass in how not to defend the lead against 9 men away from home, I think it's fair to say. Honestly, just an absolute crazy bananas, mad game of football. Almost befitting of these two teams involved, Liverpool and Spurs, in that they're both having mad, wild, up and down, crazy seasons. And there were just so many incidents and so much to talk about. Yeah, just absolutely bananas. First things first, Liverpool had to win, and they go and win. So take the 3 points, you're absolutely fine with it. In terms of who's left standing for the game against Wolves next week and stuff, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But talking points, of course. Number one, the red card to Xavi Simons, which absolutely changes the game. It was a poor first half from both teams, really. Both teams lacking a bit of quality. Maybe both teams, I think it's fair to say, a little bit nervous of losing and not quite sure, feeling each other out. Both formations kind of cancelling each other out. Not much in terms of chances. You know, Van Dijk has a header, Kolo Muani has a better header chance. But yeah, it was a real nothing game. Xavi Simons rightly sent off. It was a bad challenge, and I don't think he obviously means to hurt or really injure his international captain, but it was a bad one. Right down the back of Virgil's calf, almost Achilles, and no surprise to see VAR get intervene with that one. A little bit similar to Anthony Gordon's one away at Newcastle towards the beginning of the season. I think that, to be honest, Gordon kind of flew into that one where I think Simmons didn't, but the ball had gone. It feels like he's just going to have a little nibble at Virgil, maybe just try and give away a cheap free kick, maybe leave one on the defender or whatever, but I think it's fair to say it was a red card. That kind of changes the game. Conor Bradley gets a bit of a whack when defending a clearance in towards his own box. Now, again, I haven't heard the manager's press conference at this time, so he goes off at half time. Whether it was going to happen anyway, down to 10, or whether there was a bit of injury there, maybe a combination of both, I don't know. But the manager brings on Alexander Isak. Liverpool definitely do the right thing, getting the extra forward on and trying to get the ball wide as they can towards Vert on the left. Obviously, Sobo towards the right hand side before he makes the change later on, and like I say, Liverpool score a very good goal. You know, Romero gives a poor ball away, but Liverpool capitalise very well. You know, McAllister just gets himself in the way. Ekatike does well. Vert, unbelievable assist, and a great finish from Alexander Isak. The shame, of course, is that it looks like he goes off. Well, he does go off injured, and it didn't look particularly great. Obviously, at time of recording this one, I've got no idea where he's at, but you're worrying for that. Looks like a month's one rather than a week's one. I hope I'm wrong. Just the way he was holding his knee and then the way he limped off. I hope, again, such a shame, because that is a quality goal. That was Liverpool's, new signings all linking up, the attack that we dreamed of seeing for a while. Bit of Ekatike, bit of Vert, bit of Isak, which is great to see the new signings making a really big impact. But then, unfortunately, Isak goes off, hopefully not too bad, but a really, really strong finish and really good finish from him. And like I say, such a shame he couldn't capitalise, but that's what he paid the money for, that type of goal. Just, massive shame. And again, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm rather dreading the prognosis on that one, if truth be told. Vert with the assist. I thought Vert had a much better second half for the most part. Still not perfect, but he understood the space was wide left. He was trying to get involved. It's a lovely ball through. So all these idiots who've been doing the no Florian Wirtz assists bollocks on the internet, they can all go and shove that one, because he has one now, a very good one. And then the manager, again, when Isak goes off injured, he brings on Jeremy Frimpong as a forward option. I thought originally maybe he was going to go and play at right back, and Dom Sobo was going to move back from right back into a more natural midfield / wing position. But the manager, to be fair to him, sticks with Frimpong on the wing, and I thought he did really well. He was constantly dangerous. One of the few men who can maybe match Jed Spence, or at least give him a run for his money in terms of pace. He was constantly causing problems. He's direct into the box. Again, get a bit of good fortune. Get a bit of good fortune in terms of the deflection on the cross. But it's a good header by Ekatike. Tottenham aren't happy. They think it was a foul. If that's my centre half, I'm thinking he's been a bit soft. And Ekatike scores again. Gets his kecks off. Fair enough. Why not? Well, if I score for Liverpool, I might do the same. And then you're thinking, right, it's sound. We've got the 2 goal cushion. It'll all be fine. It'll be sound. And then, yeah, Liverpool it went really pear-shaped really quickly. Obviously, they bring Richarlison on. He gets he scores from what was yeah, I mean, it's a combination of bad luck and just like heads falling off defending, really. There are a couple of lucky ricochets, there are a couple of lucky bounces and whatever, but there are a couple of Liverpool players who could absolutely clear that one. Virgil van Dijk complete air kick at one stage. But when you're playing against, like, at this point, 10 men, like, they're playing for set pieces and percentages and just upsetting the apple cart and playing the odds, and you're not meant to give the silly fouls away, and you're not meant to get drawn into it. And it was really poor goal for Liverpool. Tottenham get the tails up. Liverpool constantly giving away free kicks. Balls are coming into the box. Chaos. Even, Konate, I thought some of them were harsh on him, but some of them were justified. It was really poor. And then Romero, who's already on a yellow card, is fouled by Konate, and for some reason, right in front of the referee, kicks him. Is correctly showing the second yellow. They're down to 9. Rightly so. Again, Spurs' heads have gone at this point. His heads have definitely gone. I can't believe he's done that. I would be absolutely fuming. I know Thomas Frank's not too happy with the officiating, and I think most of the decisions are right. I think the goal, you could probably quibble maybe a foul, but I don't think it's one where it's such an egregious error that you overruled the on-field decision. But he should be gutted with his own players, because that was pure stupidity from Romero. In that case, it wasn't great from Simons earlier. And then they're down to 9. And then you're thinking, right, this will be fine. At this point, Frimpong, who's come on, has gone off because he's took a whack in the face from Richarlison again. When he scores his goal, he's strangled Hugo Ekitike. It's just absolute chaos of a game. And then we are dreadful. Against 9, we are absolutely dreadful in terms of everything. We can't clear the ball. We keep giving fouls away. When we get up the pitch, no one is just putting the foot on the ball and trying to kill the time or kill the clock or whatever. They're constantly giving the ball away. And then in the Spurs half, they're giving free kicks away. They're giving offsides. The Trey and Yoni offside from Robertson. Both of them two. That they just come on. I couldn't believe that situation. It gives Spurs another chance to get another long free kick into the box. That was the only way they were going to score. They had 9 players, but even then, like, Liverpool couldn't stop. It was chaos. Nobody knew where they were meant to be. It was all over the place. It was really, really panicky. And I was so concerned that Liverpool were going to concede again. 9 minutes at a time. Yeah, bananas. Just absolute bananas. I can't explain that. Just absolutely crazy scenes. Thankfully, the goalkeeper is more than calm. And that's the only reason there that they don't score again. Our goalie just keeps his head. The free kick, actually, that Porro takes just after Romero sending off. Alisson does really well to hold, because if he spills that, there's another tap in probably. There's a few moments the ball goes across the box. There's one that ricochets off Kirk's knee that Alisson gets hold of. Look, Alisson, keeps us out against 9 men. Like Liverpool, it was very nervy. What I've learned from today, ultimately, Liverpool have got some quality, but they've also a bit fragile, and this is not going to be an easy. Liverpool have just turned things around, and they're going to be absolutely fine. It's not that, but they've got quality to win games, and we're going to have to deal with the fact sometimes that they're just a little bit nuts, and that was unbelievably poor. I can't believe how bad that was, down to 9. But ultimately, they do get the job done. Nice to see 4 of the summer signings all contributing goals and assists, which was brilliant. Vert, I didn't even mention he goes off late on, felt his hamstring a bit. We'll see where he's at. Liverpool are the walking wounded. I'm so happy that this fixture list is being much kinder over the Christmas period, because come Wolves, I don't know how many of them are going to be even available at that point. There's injuries, suspensions, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. They're going to have to just battle through it a little bit. But that was a truly balmy, bonkers game of football. The pros, like I say, some of the new forwards getting involved. The cons, just that last 10 minutes is absolute madness. Even Alan Slot at the end, Liverpool won. You could see him celebrating in front of the fans a bit, but his face was like thunder. Liverpool just did not control that game at all. And like I say, on another day, Tottenham scored again. You're thinking, how that we've just drew against 9. I don't know how to feel. Listen, ultimately, I'm happy Liverpool win. And when Liverpool win, that's always good news. But I am recording just moments after the final whistle, and my head's gone with how mad that final few minutes where, yeah, but again, win that joint level with fourth place Chelsea now after they dropped points earlier against Newcastle. The Liverpool's aim, I'm sure, is just get back in the Champions League next year. It's not going to be a straightforward season. There's going to be ups and downs. I think we know that. Players coming in and out and injuries and bedding things in. It just looks like it's a bit of a up and down situation. But listen, they've kind of strung together now this little unbeaten run, and it hasn't been perfect. And there's been disappointments within the way. Some of the draws weren't great. Even today with a win, there were times when it was just a little bit all over the place. But they've stopped losing games, which is great because they were losing too many of them. And then they get a week now to regroup, just over a week to regroup. If I think it is actually a week, they play on the Saturday the 27th against Wolves, and try and get a few lads fit to hopefully beat Wolves, who are the worst team in the league. Just start stacking this back together. Nothing's a given at this point, but Liverpool haven't quite turned the corner and are speeding down the motorway towards comfortable second half of the season. But they have turned the corner and they're on a bumpy country road that leads somewhere towards a positive outcome. They're going to have a few obstacles along the way, and there's going to be a few potholes, I'm sure, that they're going to have to navigate. But yeah, at least they won. At least they won. That's all I can say about that one, because my head was frazzled on the watch on towards the end of the game. I couldn't believe what I was watching. That is my somewhat of a ramble in terms of my post-game reaction. I'd love to know your thoughts. Comment section if you're watching, social media if you're listening. Thanks so much, everyone. We go again next week.